Hey guys, good morning. How's it going? I'm Denali. If you're new here, this is a series of videos where I sit in my car and I talk about things that are on my mind or timely for my business. And today is Wednesday morning. I have my coffee here. I brought it from home. I have this cute Starbucks mug, which I don't think is going to focus because I'm using the cinematic mode on my camera, on my iPhone. Do you guys have that feature? Sometimes I use it. My hair is not totally cooperating with me. That's okay. Look at how pretty it is. There's like a nice glow happening here. I feel like I don't match the glow though, but that's okay. All right. Anyways, I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about this morning, and it's actually something that I've been thinking about talking about for a little while now, but maybe I haven't totally sussed it out. And so maybe it's too early to even execute talking about it, but I'm going to go for it anyways, and let's see if I can make some sense out of it. But I wanted to talk about a huge mistake I think I avoided in my business. So these past couple of years, my business has grown a lot. And if you want any evidence of that, start at my first YouTube video, then go a couple years in, watch another one, and then maybe fast forward to as of most recent. And so in the past couple of years, I got an office space back in early 2020, late 2019. I got an office space at another location, and I had that one for a couple months. And then what do you know, March 2020 came around. Not a great time to maybe be making like extra investments if you didn't need to, or it was just a little unknown at the time. So I closed down that office space, or I left that office space. I had the opportunity to get out of my month-to-month lease that I was on, but I wasn't gonna have to give them like another month's notice. So it wouldn't have killed me to stay another month, but I was able to just like get out the same month. So I left that space, took everything, packed it up, took my business back home into my garage, stayed there for like a month or two. And actually my business grew in that time even more just because of inventory opportunities that I had. And then I moved back into that same office, but building, into a larger office space. And then it just kept growing from there. I had another unit in that building, and then another unit in that building. And then I also had 2 site storage units. And then at that point, I decided it would make sense to just bring it all together to my now warehouse, which if you're curious about that, you can search on my channel. I probably have at least like 3 or 4 warehouse tours of my warehouse if you're curious what it looks like. So now I have my warehouse, and last year at some point, I thought, should I expand beyond my current warehouse? Now I am in a warehouse park, so there are other units. And there was another unit that had opened up, but it had already been open. I had looked at this unit initially when I was looking at spaces to move into. And this unit was way more finished, whereas my warehouse looks like a warehouse. I have a small office when you enter, and then a large cement block warehouse unit. There is a second floor to it, like a loft space in my warehouse, but it's definitely tall enough that it could be 2 stories if you built another whole floor on top of it, but that would be very expensive, and I'm not going to do that. I thought somebody was going to pull up next to me. I was going to say, hey, join us. So anyways, there was another unit, two units down from mine that I had looked at. That was actually, I don't want to say who it is, but there is a large retailer, a large children's retailer. If you have a small child and you think of popular, nice children's clothing brands that are from Washington State, they're actually located near me. So they had this unit and they were no longer using it. They had been in like a 5-year lease, but their business had grown a lot. And they no longer use this unit. They were actually using it for employees to I don't know, some of their employees were using it as like maybe like a dance studio, or also there was like some old ellipticals and gym equipment. Essentially, they had no purpose for it. And so they were looking to get out of that lease. And so when I had initially looked at it, I was like, I like it, but I really was looking for more of a warehouse unit, where this looks like a large office space. And it is a large space. I think it was 2,000 square feet, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It was somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000. So last year at some point, I thought we need to expand and we need this unit. And I hemmed and hawed about it for a while. And ultimately, I didn't get it. As you know, I didn't get it. And actually, the business next to me took it over. The business next to me, they've grown a lot. And I don't know if their growth has had anything to do with the pandemic, but they're just a small business like myself. I think they sell online and then also maybe on eBay and stuff like that. So good for them. There's actually a lot of e-commerce businesses around me, which is cool. So I'm happy for them, and I'm happy I didn't get it because my business has changed a bit in the past year, basically the past year. I had inventory opportunities that were available to me in the past couple of years were no longer available to me. Different ones have become available, but one wasn't. And if one had, then maybe I would have taken it, or it continued to be, then I would have taken it. But because it hadn't, then it just wasn't gonna make sense. And ultimately, I would have made a big mistake. And I'm glad I didn't sign another lease that would have been at least 3 years, possibly 5, just depending on what the landlord was looking for. I'm really glad I didn't, because that could have left me in a pretty bad predicament. So I guess my thing for you is, have you been in a similar situation in your business, whether it be a warehouse unit, an office unit, or something else? Have you had to think about, opportunities that could have been available to you? You're sad that you maybe didn't take it at the time, but now you can look back at it reflectively and say, that was for the best. For me, it was for the best, but at the time I thought it was a loss. I thought, oh man, I'm really trying to grow, and this is not allowing me to do so. I need more space for this reason. No, oh my gosh, in the long run, I'm so glad I didn't take that unit, because it's not the growth that I thought I needed. And now the way I'm looking at my business, I'm really trying to pare things down, and that would have been forcing me in another direction. And I also, have had changes in my staffing, and I haven't been wanting to bring on more employees, especially just with like the shift in the economy in the past year. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, I really did dodge a bullet there. But in the moment, it doesn't feel like it. And it's funny how things work themselves out in that way. Yeah, I'm being reflective. I don't know if there's like a huge lesson here or a big piece of advice that I have to share, other than don't feel like, if you're in those moments where you feel like I've made a mistake, or I missed this opportunity for myself or my business, you maybe didn't. It just feels like it in this moment. It feels like this loss, but it may end up proving to be a huge win for you. I am a big believer in like, things happen for a reason. Everything works itself out. It's just the way my life has always worked. And so I need to remember to trust in that, and not be afraid of it, accepting the things that happen, and not thinking of them as a loss, because they're not always a loss. Sometimes it's a win. it was a win for me. I'm really, really happy about that. Especially because my leases would not have lined up, because I have a 3-year lease on this unit. And if I had signed another 3-year one, it really would have just like locked me in further. And if I were to explore other warehouse spaces in the future, then yeah, that wouldn't have been so good. So anyways, I don't know if this video was valuable or helpful to you, but it is something that I wanted to, I guess, express or talk about, or maybe even acknowledge out loud for myself that we made a good decision and that something worked out in our favor for us. Go us. This is me patting my back. Look at this beautiful light. It's so lovely. It's so glowy in here. Gosh, I wish I had like some sparkles. Instead, I'm just wearing my Bins hoodie. This is from the musical Hamilton. I actually saw Hamilton. It was, now we'll get into just like fun talking for a second. I saw Hamilton here in Seattle a number of years ago when they were first on tour, and I won tickets in like a lotto that they had, which was really cool. And so me and my son and my husband went, but my son was really young at the time, because this, again, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago, and he did not pay attention. And we had like 3rd row. We had pretty like decent seats. Yeah, he was very like distracted and fidgety, and it's just funny to think back, and it's like, hey man, we took you to this really cool thing at the time, and you know, maybe I shouldn't have taken a kid to it, but hey man, that's who I am. That's a little peek into my personality. He wasn't like, you know, he didn't cry or anything like that. It was just more distracting probably to me and my husband, but I don't think, you know, I don't think it ruined anyone else's experience. It was just like, I was hyper aware of him. But anyway, now he likes Hamilton. Like, he watched it when it was on Disney Plus and everything, and was like totally into it. And it's funny. It's like, where were you a few years ago when you were sitting 3rd row? So funny. I am about to go into the warehouse and prepare for possible snow next week. Thinking about, you know, yeah, incoming things and things happening. Yeah, it's supposed to snow Tuesday. Well, earlier it said Monday through Friday of next week. Now it's saying Tuesday through Friday. And I want to get ahead of it. I want to get some probably pictures of, yeah, inventory. I probably need a photograph. It's like the big thing I need to do, because I just have a feeling it may affect my employees' ability to make it in here, both my employees. So that will mean stuff needs to get done. So that means quite a bit of photographing from me, probably for the remainder of this week. So yeah, I was thinking about leaving early today. I hope that still happens. I kind of wanted to like go get Santa pictures with my son, and I was thinking today would be a good day for that. So here's to getting out of work a little bit early today, whether that happens or not. I hope you all are having a great week. And, you know, if you relate to my message about, you know, I guess avoiding what would have been a very expensive mistake. And, you know, if we want to call it, maybe it wouldn't have been a mistake. Maybe I would have shifted and adapted and made it work. But in this moment, in the space that I'm in today, I think I would not have wanted to be in that position. No, I would not. And I know I would have made it work if I was, but I'm glad I don't have to have that concern or that worry. It really was the best decision for myself. So, all right. Well, I got to go to work. You should probably get to work. We will talk again soon. Bye.